Time to round up one more topic from the week. Funding for the Department of Homeland Security is quickly running out. We're talking a matter of days now. Money is set to expire on February 27th as terror threats continue to grow across the globe. But a feud over President Obama's executive actions on immigration is holding the bill up in the Senate. This as federal judge ruled this week to put those actions on hold as 26 states draw up a lawsuit against the president's plan. So will the block on the executive order help break the stalemate on Homeland Security funding? That's our topic this half hour. We want to hear from you on our Fox 26 Facebook page. You can also weigh in on Twitter. Be sure to use the hashtag Fox26forlife. Joining us live in the newsroom is our Roundup panel again. It's led by our senior legal analyst, Chris Turtico. We also have our news analyst, Mustafa Tamiz, and public policy analyst, Jackie Bally. All right, good morning, guys. So what do you think? Do you think that Congress will pass a funding bill in time?
Well, they certainly should. The question, will this ruling help ease the gridlock in Congress over this issue? Absolutely not. First, let's understand what the judge ruled on. He did not rule that this was unconstitutional, the president's order was unconstitutional. He merely issued a stay of the president's executive order while the case proceeds to trial. And so there is no definitive ruling by any judge that says the president exceeded his authority in issuing this order. And so because of that, and a variety of reasons that we don't have time to talk about, Congress is not going to use this as a means to end this stalemate. It dies in the Senate, and it's going to stay dead in the Senate unless the Republicans change the way they've drafted the bill and take out the executive order. So let's see what happens here. We'll talk to who's first? Yeah, we'll go with you, Mustafa. I think you're first. The judge said we're going to stay this until a full trial. He didn't say it was unconstitutional.
Well, and he was very narrow about this. He said there were 26 states, including Texas. He said Texas has standing because there needs to be an open comment period. People need to comment on this rule change. It's going to affect Texas funding in terms of the driver's license.
And the suit wasn't even against the president.
Yeah, and so, you know, just like in the prior discussion we had, somebody comes in front of a judge, you make a decision whether it's gay marriage or whether it's Homeland Security, because in essence, if that was wrong, then this is wrong too, because he's going against the president of the United States who has legal jurisdiction over immigration, which federal governments always had. Is
this ruling staying the president's order going to help the Senate get over their hurdle?
No, because what we're seeing Republicans who are saying, look, majority of the voters say that they don't agree with the president's actions on immigration. A majority of residents, definitely in Texas, feel that our borders need to be secure and don't agree with the president's actions. But the president agrees with his actions. And so he's pretty much ignored the fact that a majority of his people were voted out. And a majority of the residents don't believe in his decisions that he's made in immigration. And he has continued to proceed in the viewpoint and the way he wants to proceed.
And the Senate can't do what it's asking. The Republicans in the Senate cannot pass this bill. It's not going to pass. If it does pass, they don't have enough votes to overturn the president's veto. Why are they continuing down this path?
Because we voted them in to do this. A majority of the voters said, we want our borders secured. We don't want people coming in here illegally. We don't want a majority of our dollars focused on people who entered our country illegally. Instead, we want a majority of our dollars securing the border. That's why 53% of Hispanics voted for Abbott in Texas. That's why 57% voted for Dan Patrick in Texas, because again, they were running their campaigns on securing the border first.
Is that a little overbroad argument?
Well, I mean, I think Texas has a choice. Either we're part of the United States of America or we start our own country. And there is a good population of people who believe that Texas should secede and have its own governing rules. But look, this is an important issue, right? We can talk about this in jest, but the Department of Homeland Security's funding is about to run out. It's the Department of Homeland Security funding is about to run out. And the reason for it is that, as Jackie has said, that the Republican primary voters have elected people to say, be obstructionists, to stop down the government, to do everything to put a wall in front of President Obama.
Voters. The Washington Examiner said that voters, majority of voters, if regardless of an R or D by your name, do not agree with the president's actions on immigration, and the 53% and 57%, those are voters across Texas.
I understand that, but but voters have elected this president twice. He is the president of the United States, and I'm glad that they won the House and the Senate. But the reality is, he won.
He may be president, but they don't agree with his actions in this policy.
All right, listen up.
Is that the job to do polling and to figure out only what is people agree with and vote?
Well, we're talking about immigration right now.
So he should. So he should
agree on what he's doing.
Let me ask you this, because
immigration.
we're almost out of time. Let me ask you this: should the Republicans continue down the path in the Senate when they know they can't? Ultimately, this bill will never pass, and they can't overturn the president's veto. So, shouldn't we find another way to fund the Department of Homeland Security?
Well, then you're making the arguments that Republicans should try to make an effort to lead and govern, when in reality they don't want to lead and govern. What they want to do is be obstructionists, and that's what they're being sent to. And they're running for president saying that. Ted Cruz has ran on president saying that.
Final thought.
You're hearing quite a few Republicans saying that they do want to fund Homeland Security. They also want to stop the president's actions on immigration. The president is saying my actions are going to be steadfast, and he's holding on to it, regardless of what a majority of his voters are saying that they don't like his
But
actions.
he wins that fight at the end of the day, right?
Well, we all lose because he's being stubborn and won't listen to the voters.